Hello, future millionaires. Have you ever wondered how those small daily actions can completely transform your life? If you want to be part of the 1% willing to change their lives, this video is for you. Today we're going to break down the 12 chapters of James Clear's book Atomic Habits. So, if you want to learn how to make lasting and effective changes, keep watching. Let's dive in. Chapter 1: The Power of Atomic Habits. First, let's talk about the power of atomic habits. These are small changes that, over time, lead to significant results. An atomic habit is a small and simple action that, when consistently repeated, produces great results in the long run. Think of these habits as small bricks that, when stacked on top of each other, build a solid structure. For example, reading 10 pages of a book each day. It might seem like a little, but in a year, you'll have read about 12 books. It's something I've personally experienced. Before, I thought I needed 3 hours to read, but with just 10 pages a day, I've managed to read more books in a year than ever before. I went through that too. I always wanted to read more, but I never found the time. I started with just 10 pages a day, and before I knew it, I was devouring books like popcorn. At first, it seems insignificant, but consistency is key. Have you noticed how something as small as reading 10 pages a day can have such a big impact? What habits could you start today that, over time, would make a big change? Start with something small and manageable. It could be as simple as doing 5 minutes of exercise or writing a line in your journal. You'll see the difference. The key is to start today, not wait for the perfect moment. Chapter 2: How Habits Form. The second chapter talks about how habits form. It's fascinating to understand the process behind our everyday actions. Habits are formed through a cycle of cue, routine, and reward. This cycle is known as the habit loop. Imagine you want to start running. Your cue could be leaving your sneakers next to the bed. Your routine, going out for a run. Your reward, a revitalizing shower afterward. This simple sequence helps you create a new habit of running regularly. I also had trouble establishing an exercise routine. But when I started leaving my sneakers ready, it was much easier to go for a run. The cue acts as a reminder, and by associating a pleasant reward, my brain began to anticipate that positive feeling. What habit would you like to form, and how can you prepare your cue? What routine could you establish, and what reward would motivate you to keep going? Find your cue. It could be as simple as an alarm or a sticky note. Get ready for success. Make sure your reward is something you genuinely enjoy, so your brain is more willing to repeat the action. Chapter 3: The Compound Effect of Habits. The third chapter explores the compound effect. This is where the magic really happens, and where we see how small changes add up. The compound effect is the result of small actions repeated consistently over time. It's the principle that small becomes big. Saving $1 a day may not seem like much, but after a year, you'll have $365. Enough for a treat or an initial investment in something bigger. At first, saving seemed pointless. What could I do with just $1 a day? But when I saw my savings grow, I realized the power of consistency. Small daily efforts, accumulated over time, create a significant impact. Have you ever underestimated the impact of small daily actions? What small habit could you start today that, over time, would make a big change? Don't be discouraged by the slow progress. Every little action counts, and over time, you'll see surprising results. Patience and persistence are your best allies on this journey. Chapter 4: The Importance of Environment. The fourth chapter talks about the environment. Because, let's face it, sometimes we are products of our environment, and this can work for us or against us. The environment refers to external factors that can influence our habits. Our surroundings can either facilitate or hinder the adoption of new habits. If you want to eat healthily, having fruits and vegetables visible in the kitchen and unhealthy snacks out of sight can help you. Simply changing the arrangement of food can make a big difference in your daily choices. I struggled with this too. My weakness was snacks. When I changed my environment, stopped buying them, and started filling my kitchen with healthy options, the change was incredible. My choices automatically improved because it was easier to opt for the healthy ones. How can you change your environment to support your new habits? What adjustments can you make in your surroundings to facilitate good habits and hinder bad ones? Make good behavior easy and bad behavior difficult. Small adjustments in your environment can work wonders. For example, if you want to read more, keep books handy instead of the TV remote. Chapter 5: The Role of Identity. The 5th chapter is about identity. This is one of my favorites because it shows how our perception of ourselves influences our actions. Your identity is the beliefs you have about yourself that influence your behavior. The key is to align with the identity of the person you want to be. Instead of saying, "I want to run a marathon," say, "I am a runner." Changing how you see yourself can change your habits. This new identity reinforces your actions because your habits are a manifestation of your identity. I always saw myself as someone who wanted to be fit, but I never quite achieved it. When I started identifying as an active person, my habits changed. I began making decisions that a runner would make, and that made all the difference. Have you noticed how your identity affects your habits? How could you redefine your identity to support the habits you want to adopt? Start seeing yourself as the person you want to be. Say, "I am a healthy person" instead of "I want to be healthy." Your mind is powerful. By changing your identity, your actions will naturally start aligning with it. Chapter 6: The Law of Least Effort. The 6th chapter teaches us the law of least effort. I love this concept because it makes everything more manageable. This law states that people naturally gravitate toward the path of least resistance. Making good habits easier to execute increases the likelihood of us sticking to them. If you want to play the guitar every day, leave your guitar out of its case and in sight. This way, it'll be easier to pick up and start playing. This small reduction in friction makes it much more likely that you'll practice. I always wanted to practice guitar, but having to take it out of its case was a hurdle. When I left it out, I started playing more often. Making the habit more accessible removes unnecessary barriers and encourages repetition. What habit would you like to make easier? What small barriers could you eliminate to make executing that habit easier? Find ways to reduce friction for your good habits. The less effort it requires, the more likely you are to do it. Have everything ready the night before, organize your workspace, or eliminate distractions. Make your success easier. Chapter 7: The Importance of Immediate Feedback. The 7th chapter discusses the importance of immediate feedback. It's crucial for maintaining motivation and adjusting our habits in real time. Immediate feedback is the quick response we receive when performing an action. It helps us understand how we're progressing and allows us to make adjustments to our actions to improve. If you're learning a language, using an app that corrects you instantly can be very motivating. Every time you make a mistake, you receive immediate feedback that helps you correct it and learn faster. I was learning French, and the lack of immediate feedback was demotivating. When I started using an app that corrected my mistakes instantly, my progress accelerated. Seeing myself improve in real time kept me motivated and committed to my goal. Have you noticed how immediate feedback can increase your motivation and improve your performance in your habits? How could you incorporate more immediate feedback into your daily routines? Look for ways to get immediate feedback on what you're doing. It could be through apps, study buddies, or any other tool that provides quick responses. The faster you receive feedback on your actions, the quicker you can adjust and improve. Chapter 8: Motivation and Willpower. The 8th chapter explores motivation and willpower. Sometimes, motivation isn't enough to maintain our habits. We need the willpower to keep going even when motivation wanes. Motivation is the desire to do something, while willpower is the ability to push through even when you don't want to. Both are important for maintaining our habits long-term. Having a support system, like a workout buddy, can help you keep going when your motivation dips. Even when you don't feel motivated, the accountability to your partner can push you to act. I also relied heavily on motivation. But when I found a workout buddy, it was easier to stay on track even on tough days. I knew I wasn't just exercising for myself, but also for my friend, which gave me an extra boost when motivation faltered. Do you have a support system for those days when motivation isn't enough? How could you cultivate an environment that helps you maintain your habits even when motivation wanes? Find someone to share your goals with. Mutual support can be a great source of motivation and willpower. Also, work on developing your self-control and discipline to maintain your habits even when motivation diminishes. Remember that consistency is key to long-term success. Chapter 9: The Importance of Systems. The 9th chapter highlights the importance of systems. Because goals are good, but systems are better. Systems help us maintain our habits consistently and effectively. A system is a process or routine that leads you to your goals. While goals are the destination, systems are the path that takes you there. Instead of saying, "I want to lose 5 kilos," establish a system of regular exercise and healthy eating. Setting an exercise schedule and planning your meals helps you focus on the process rather than just the end result. I always set goals, but without a system, I struggled to achieve them. When I created a system for my workouts and diet, the results came. Instead of obsessing over the number on the scale, I focused on following my plan day by day, and that made all the difference. Do you have an established system to reach your goals? What steps could you take to develop an effective system that helps you maintain your habits long-term? Focus on systems more than goals. Systems will consistently guide you toward your goals, even when the results aren't immediate. Don't worry so much about the destination. Enjoy the journey and trust your system to take you there. Chapter 10: Habits and Self-Evaluation. The 10th chapter is about self-evaluation. It's crucial for personal growth and maintaining our habits long-term. Self-evaluation is the process of reviewing and reflecting on your habits and progress. It helps you identify areas for improvement and make adjustments to your approach if necessary. Keeping a journal where you jot down your progress and challenges can be very helpful. By regularly reviewing your journal, you can identify patterns in your behavior and see what's working and what's not. I also had trouble tracking my progress. When I started keeping a journal, I could clearly see my progress and areas for improvement. Sometimes, we get lost in the daily routine and forget to pause and reflect on our progress. Self-evaluation allows us to do that and helps us stay focused on our goals. Do you regularly review your progress toward your goals? What steps could you take to incorporate more self-evaluation into your daily routine? Take time for self-evaluation. A simple journal can be a powerful tool to keep you on the right track. Spend a few minutes at the end of the day reflecting on your actions and how they brought you closer or farther from your goals. Over time, you'll learn a lot about yourself and your habits. Chapter 11: How to Maintain Habits Long-Term. The 11th chapter teaches us how to maintain habits long-term. Because the real challenge is consistency and perseverance. Maintaining a habit long-term requires commitment and continuous adjustments. It's a process of perseverance and constant adaptation to overcome the obstacles that may arise along the way. Imagine you're trying to maintain the habit of exercising regularly. You may encounter days when you're tired, unmotivated, or have other priorities competing for your time. Maintaining the habit long-term involves finding ways to overcome these challenges and staying committed to your exercise goal. I also had days when I broke my habits. Sometimes life just gets in the way. But I learned that the important thing is to get back on track, not to give up because of a mistake. The key to maintaining habits long-term is consistency and the ability to adapt to changing circumstances. How do you react when you break a habit? Do you give up easily, or do you find a way to get back on track? What strategies have you used to maintain your habits long-term? Take time to reflect on your habits and how you handle setbacks. Life is full of ups and downs, but what matters is your ability to get back on track and keep moving forward. Consistency is key to maintaining habits long-term, so don't be discouraged by setbacks. Face challenges with determination and keep moving towards your goals. Chapter 12: The Impact of Habits on Life. Finally, the 12th chapter is about the impact of habits on our lives. It's a powerful summary that reminds us of the importance of our daily actions in creating the life we desire. Habits, though small, have a significant impact on our health, happiness, and success. Every choice we make daily contributes in some way to the person we are becoming and the life we are building for ourselves. Small daily improvements in your habits can lead to a big change in your life long term. For example, if you decide to incorporate the habit of gratitude by practicing daily reflection on the things you're grateful for, over time, you'll notice a positive change in your perspective and emotional well-being. I also underestimated the power of habits. I thought small actions didn't matter that much, but over time, I saw how those small daily actions transformed my life. Every choice you make daily has a cumulative effect on your well-being and long-term success. Have you noticed the impact of your habits on your life? How have your daily actions influenced your health, happiness, and success? What positive changes have you experienced by incorporating new habits into your life? Don't underestimate the power of habits. Every little action counts, and over time, it can lead to big changes. Take control of your habits and consciously choose actions that will lead you toward the life you want to live. Remember that every choice you make today is shaping your tomorrow, so choose wisely and commit to being the best version of yourself. And that's it for today. Thank you for joining me in this analysis of Atomic Habits. If you want to continue learning and delving deeper into these topics, don't miss the next video right here. It's a perfect complement. See you soon, and remember, every little habit counts. Until next time.